Hey everyone, we're at Blue Spring State Park in Orange City, Florida. We've been to this park many times in the past, but the difference this time around is we're staying overnight. We booked a campsite here at Blue Spring State Park. There's multiple campsites with hookups. There's cabins also. We've got our tent. We're going to stay in a site that has a hookup, or at least we're hoping to. When we got here today, someone is actually squatting in our site and they're refusing to leave the site. So the park ranger right now doing their best to try to get that party out of the site. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a walk around, see some things that we're normally familiar with. They have an amazing spring here. This is where the manatees come to rest and kind of soak up some of the heat because the spring runs about 72 degrees year-round. During the wintertime, the manatees from the St. Johns River migrate over this way to soak up the constant temperature goodness, if you will. There's boating here, there's kayaking here. We've done all of that stuff before. There's snorkeling, there's scuba diving. There's a little spring that will push you along in your tube as well. Hopefully we're trying to get in some of that stuff while we're here. But the skies, they don't necessarily look like they're going to agree with us for the duration of our stay. Campsite number 2. 3. 4. 8. Some of them have concrete slabs, some are a little bit more dirt. Here's one of the bathhouses. Got laundry outside there. Get a closer look at the bathhouse here. They do have soda machine and water out here. $2.25 a bottle. Then in the men's room, changing table, broken urinal, toilets, accessible sinks, and there is one shower. And there is a second shower. This one has a wand. And there is a washer dryer, $2.50. And signage up about snakes that you'll find around the campgrounds. Non-venomous, venomous. Study those up. If you're way worried about snakes. You got bears and bobcats, and coyotes and deer. Got a cutway over here to the spring. Some of these are really dirt-based slopes. So I'm going to take you guys around a little bit. This is the main recreation area. We're going to start from the bottom and head our way up towards the top of the spring. In the background there is the Thornby house. Very haunted house. We'll go in there in a moment. They got some construction happening here too. And this was not here the last time that we were here. To the left of the construction we have our playground area. Now months back when we were here last time for kayaking, this was all closed off because of COVID, but not anymore. So they do have boat cruises that go out. I'm not sure of the timing. I was hoping to actually do this while we were here over the next 2 days. Let's see if we can get this in tomorrow. Our next cruise, 10 a.m. And that's the boat that takes you out. $28 for a little sightseeing cruise. You got some folks fishing off the dock here. And to the left of the boat cruises, you have guided kayak tours and rentals, or just an area over here that you can launch your kayak yourself. And we've done this many times ourselves with our inflatable kayak, and it is awesome. Also, alligator, no swimming. Got some folks out there cruising. And this area, beyond here, generally no fishing. You can usually kayak, but I guess not anymore because they've blocked it off. And interestingly, container out there with a lot of rocks. So maybe they're rebedding the river here. And I picked up a brochure for Blue Springs State Park. They have everything here. The boat tours, tubing rentals, kayak rentals, canoe rentals, paddle boats, Segway tours. And you can go out to Huntoon Island as well. This sign is new, but it's telling us about William Bartram's travels back in 1766. All right, before we start our quest, heading up the river here. Oh, look at this guy. Let's check out the Thornby house. Excuse me, I've been saying the wrong thing the whole time. It's the Thursby house. I will say one time when I was here with Jess, and we were looking around, we were the only people in here. There was a loud crash in the next room. And we looked, and nothing else was in there. Or anybody else. Let's take a little gander here. This house was built in 1872. And you can't go upstairs. There's a timeline here of the Thursbys, 1850 through 1900. $1872, new house. These were the grounds. It is like 1,000 degrees in here. Louis Thursby owned 800 acres of land. Here's the old railroad going through Orange City, 1896. And the steamboat era. Oranges and cotton. The Orange City Schoolhouse, 1885, and Blue Springs Orange City Railway. Well, it's not too creepy. Look outside. Little area for audiences. Some dishware. And furnishings. Here's a birth register and a death register. And some blocks. And there he is, Louis Thursby. And Mary Ann Thursby. Not the most inviting looking person. And it has to be about 50 degrees warmer inside that house. Whew. Now we'll head out here and see what's happening. Social distancing markers still down on the ground. No fishing allowed here. What do we have here? They are building up stuff along the sides of the river here. I know the water doesn't look all that clear here, likely because of the dam that they've built, but it gets clear way up by the spring. And in the water here, you're gonna find manatees, gators, a lot of turtles, cats, and gar. And the gar is a really mean son of a bitch fishes that have the really Sharp teeth and a pointy face.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, you can see they're just kind of building up the riverbank here. Maybe trying to stave off some of the erosion. Here we go. One of my favorite places to walk. Squirrel chilling here. Not seeing any manatees out there. I do see a bird's nest out there. They've moved our manatee friend. He was in one of the lookouts that we passed by, but now over here on the boardwalk. Look at this. Some hardcore work happening. A lot of commotion up here by the dock for swimming. And seemingly patiently waiting here are those gars, all pointed up like they want to get up there, but they don't want to go by the people swimming. There's a good look at one. He's coming out the water. The water is very shallow right now too. I see people standing up over here. We've been swimming in here before when it's like maybe 10 or so feet deep. It hasn't rained enough consistently. We'll walk down here, check out what's happening on the dock where people are swimming. That's the direction we're coming from, and that's where we're heading. Hopefully we'll get some swimming in tomorrow. The sky does not look like it's going to cooperate for swimming today by the time that we're able to get our camp set up. Come across the gift store and the canteen over here, and they are telling the swimmers to get out because of the storm coming over this way. In the gift store, they've got some cute manatee items. The storm is coming, but I'm still heading to the spring. Hopefully this is not a bad judgment call, but I think I might be able to beat the rain. We'll see. Gorgeous. Tube launch coming up here. What kind of submerged hazards? Ooh.
You okay?
This is where you would launch your tube. I'll make your way up there. Go diving. And last but not least, head up by the spring head. And there we go. Spring head right there. You can dive way down. There's a tight fit down below though. There's some folks meandering up this way with their tubes so that they could take the full lazy way down. And it is starting to rain. But you can scuba your way down or snorkel down below. It's pretty cavernous down below. And here's another look. The rain is picking up. There is something really calming about the breeze and the rain. And of course somebody just walked past me with a radio going, but it's not gonna listen. Look at the size of that guy. It's like dinner for four. Look at the rain. It is pouring out. Well, I got a little bit wet by the rain, and now I guess we'll see what's happening with the campsite. I've never had that situation before, generally speaking, in Florida. When I've taken a tent out camping or just gone out at all, like the spots that you reserve them online. They tell you that you need to evac by 11 a.m. and then, or 1 p.m., one of the two. And then the new people can come in at 3 o'clock, and we're just shy of 3 o'clock, but the folks that are in my site now say that they've had the site reserved for, with no end date. They can't produce any documentation, and they're refusing to leave when the ranger went over to try to tell them to get out. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I knew it was going to rain for a period of time today. I was just hoping to have camp set up prior to the rain so that I didn't need to set up during the rain. Not as bad when you have an RV, but when you have a tent and set up in the rain, kind of sucks. While I'm waiting for my campsite to get sorted out, let's go check out what the cabins look like. Nice and reclusive. And here they are. There's one. Another back there. Very much Friday the 13th looking. Where Jason keeps his mom. Lots of bear warnings and bear trash and everything. So this is a very bear heavy area. What is that in the road up ahead? It's a raccoon. It's out during the day. Look at that. A little deer. A doe. A deer. Deer just chilling out. Alright, so we're getting close to 4, and I'm still waiting for the squatters to get out of my campsite. The ranger said they're working on it. I figure I'll go for a little walk. By the way, this is not a loop trail. So you walk in, you walk out, and here's what to look for. And away we go. It's just some bears doing some light carpentry. I have to say that out of all of the trails that we walk on in Florida, this one always scares me the most. I am forever worried here that something is gonna jump out. Here's a sign for a sable palm. And by the way, this is a Pokestop if you're still playing Pokemon Go. Whoa! Zero fear squirrel. There's always a bench. Oh, butterflies. And the sun has returned. Look at that. I hear people up ahead. magnolia tree, some butterflies around it. Fun fact, we have a gigantic magnolia tree in our backyard. Into the great wide open. Hey now. Listen to the wind come through the trees. Oh snap. Hello. Hello. Oh damn dude, there are a ton of ants out here. Oh my. The other crazy thing is that there's so many bobcat tracks and things around, and you know they're all right there. They're watching you. But we got this trust thing happening here that they're not coming out during the day. Of course, when I was camping at Lake Louisa, I woke up in the morning, finally able to go to the restroom, walked over to the door, and before I could get over there, there was a bobcat out in front of the rest house, so I went back to the tent and I just held it for a little while longer. So because of the rain before, it's 79 degrees outside. There's like 100% humidity, so it's like walking into a shower. Alright, so that did some time in. Got a little walk. Let's see the progress on the campsite. Alright, so we are finally at our campsite, which is now empty. 29. Somebody had booked 28, and they figured they would just stay in 29 as well, which was screwing me. Out of the campsites that I've seen here, this looks like it's one of the nicer ones. So we've got a hookup, you got water, they threw their trash in here, and a little walking space back here. That's pretty interesting. And since we're using a tent, this ground here is raised up like this. It's a little awkward. We'll just plop up over here somewhere. I don't think we're going to be using the fire tonight. I will be using the hookups though. Alright, so we're pretty much set up. We've got our cooler, you got our tent, the Gazelle T4. I love this tent. Windows open, and I am running a cord out of the box, so we've got our griddle over there. We're gonna get that going in a minute. I don't think I'm gonna use the fire. But inside the tent, I got my TV set up. And a little twin mattress. Give you an idea how much room is in this tent. But I'm literally standing up. I'm 6'1", and plenty of room in here, so I don't get a commission for selling these tents, but I absolutely love this. It's almost like a little mobile hotel room with the amount of room that there is. All right, 5:30, time to get some food on. And we've got a new acquisition. This is the Outdoor Gourmet, similar to the Blackstone Grill. This is from Academy Sports, and we're going basic hamburgers and hot dogs tonight. There we go. How about another? Added some dogs to it too. And then we've got some cheap Walmart potato salad. Well, here's the bounty for tonight. Tomorrow morning, bacon and eggs. And the reason why I ended up getting a griddle is because the camp stove, for most of the time, I was just ending up frying stuff anyway. So this is slightly bigger, but it has a bigger footprint as well, so I can make bigger breakfast in the morning and stuff and not need to take turns cooking things when Mary's with me. I've got the Jetboil system and so forth for any type of coffee or anything that I might need anyways, or hot water. So in case you were wondering about camping in a tent in the middle of summer in Florida, that shirt is a goner. for now. Clean this guy up. Gonna let it cool off for a little bit. Let's start by making a right out of the campsite, and let's see how far it is to the wash house from here. There's a few of these sites that don't have anybody in them yet, but according to the website, they're full up. All right, so that's site 37 and 38. The wash house is over here. So it's like a block away, city block wise. There is a middle loop here as well, so that's where that traffic is coming out of. And there is a cut through to get to the swimming section of the spring. Let's see how far that is. By the way, this is site 1. This is definitely a campground where not all sites are created equal. Some are pretty short, as you can see. Some of them are dirt, some of them are concrete. And there's a pretty good distance in between the two. And a lot of vegetation, so you got privacy. Site number 6 has a pretty nice tar pad. Well, I just walked past some people that said they want 2 things: vacation and water. And of course, that's got me thinking about the Brad Paisley song. So just before site 15 is the turnoff for the other campsites, 46 through 51. And just after site 18, which is the campground host, is the cut through for the spring. It probably would have been easier for me to go left out of my campsite. But here we go. You know, one of the best things about camping is when you pass by people on pathways and everything, everyone says hello to each other. Sometimes people stop and they talk, have a little friendly chatter. Wouldn't everything be so much better if that carried over everywhere in life? Now, we got 2 hours before sunset, but skies are gray, so it looks like it's getting dark quick. So that pathway brings you over by where the store and canteen is, and they are closed up solid as of 5 o'clock. And there's a bunch of people up here still swimming. Can get a view up by the springs. And back down here, very shallow. And just the usual parents and kids. Oh, look at that turtle. He's just hanging out on top of the water. And so, the distance from the campsite to the spring swimming area, about a quarter mile. So, I changed my shirt before I came out for this walk, and I've already soaked through this. It's kind of like walking through a sauna. And we're back. It is starting to rain lightly, but I don't want to move. I love the sounds. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm in the tent because it is drizzling outside. But I gotta tell you, the windows situation here with the tent, there's so many windows in this T4, so got those 2. And we've got these others around the way, like the cross breeze is wonderful. It is a lot cooler in this tent than it is outside of the tent. It's raining out. Very peaceful. So about an hour or so later, it is really raining out there now. Plenty dry in here. Nice and cool out now. Morning time, just before 7. And it just started pouring while I was just gonna get ready to start making breakfast. Time for a little bacon and eggs. One day I will master the art of bacon and eggs on the grill. Today may not be that day, but this still looks damn good. So, fun story. I rushed this morning to get everything disassembled, broken down to be able to get onto the boat tour. Had enough time, and the van won't start. Well, an hour and a half later, Geico Roadside Assistance is coming to give me a jump. They should be here momentarily. Hopefully it's just the battery and it's not something worse. But I think a lot of it probably might have just killed the battery or maybe the alternator by sitting and waiting so long yesterday for the campsite to be ready. Good times, good times. Here comes our savior. And just like that, I'm out of here. It was the battery. Now, sooner than risk it, I'm just gonna head home and we'll catch that river cruise another day. Well, we've made it back home from Blue Springs State Park. Obviously, we got a little bit of an overview in the video, but didn't really get to partake in the stuff that we had planned for the day. And I guess, you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, you know, kind of fits in here. But overall, Blue Spring State Park, we've been there dozens of times. We love that park. The manatee watching, especially in the winter, is phenomenal. It's not the biggest state park out there, but it is really fun to go in the spring area and snorkel or raft, etc. It just didn't happen this time around. This was my first attempt trying to camp there. Campsites, very much different from campsite to campsite. There, 29 was a really nice spot. It had that extra space in the back there with the tree that was down, and overall, really big spot to camp in. Just kind of unfortunate with the whole episode that happened with the people that didn't want to leave the spot when I got there, and the fact that I had limited time in that spot as a result. I do think these one night type camping events really don't give the benefit of some of the campsites also, so I'd really like to get back out there and maybe try a multi-night camping stay. And we will be back, because at this point now we have unfinished business, and I do need eventually to get on that boat and see what it's all about. I've seen the boat pass by while I'm out there kayaking and etc., but it'd be great to be able to soak it all in while you're not paddling yourself. So the construction around the riverbed, also pretty interesting. Good to see that they're taking proactive steps to really kind of build that foundation up. But that's it for now. So thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. See you guys.